There is a whitewashed village 20 minutes from Marbella and just over half an hour from Malaga. It lies in a beautiful valley with stunning views all around. In this video, we're going to check out those views, walk through the town and checking out its important monuments, try to find somewhere amazing to eat and make our way to the top of the castle, which is still intact, and answer an important question. With a location like this, is Monda worth it?
We are in Mirador Cruz de Caravaca, and I believe this is the best spot to start exploring this beautiful town of Monda. Not only you have amazing views, but it's quite central as well. We left the car somewhere around here, and I have to say, there are lots of options for you to leave your car free of charge. One tip when visiting the whitewash villages of Andalucia. Personally, I don't like to drive into town because some of the streets are very narrow, and sometimes you actually see shots on TikTok, on Instagram, where the car is actually so tight it barely fits into the street. So personally, I prefer just parking the car just outside the town and just venturing into the town center in foot. You can see the church there. I would like to go there now to the main square and the church. But first of all, I would like to explore this beautiful town. And this is a town that Aslam and I, we passed by many times, and we see this castle on the road, which is just over there. And for the last 2 or 3 years, we have been saying, we need to visit it, we need to visit it. Today is finally the day.
I like the fact that from the streets, you can see the mountain right in front. And the streets are not too bad, it's just the start of the town. And I can already see some beautifully decorated houses with my favorite flowers, bougainvillea. It's not a big town. The population is about 3,000 inhabitants. There is a lot of land around it that people love to make houses there. Should we go down or straight? Down, yeah? Let's go. It looks clean. I can see some mountain bikes, the electric ones as well. And so this is a very beautiful area surrounding as well that you can explore on the bikes. Like we said before, that Monda is a very popular destination for living because it's right in the middle of Malaga and Marbella. Imagine living in a serene valley, but you're still 20 minutes away from the hustle and bustle of Marbella. Especially La Cañada shopping center is the nearest part from here. So far so good. There are some parts of Monda which in the start we were a bit like hesitant, like have you done the right thing? But it's growing more and more on me. And that building is beautiful as well. That reminds me of the north of Spain when we were in Asturias, that kind of architecture. And the important thing to remember is that we're only just over 35 minutes from the Malaga's International Airport, which is one of the busiest airports with great connections all over Europe and the Middle East. And also recently they started direct flights to the US in the summer especially. Voilà. They are preparing their bars and restaurants. Voilà. Sí, lavadero de la jaula, which means the washing area of the cage. Oh, it's pretty. I like it. It's a beautiful little square and the sun is just rising up from the back of the hills. There we go. How beautiful is this? Have a look. And of course, it was built in 1788, hundreds of years ago. And there's a fresh water coming down from the mountains and people can drink it. I won't recommend right now. And there are few fountains coming out. Oh, wow. This part is empty, probably because you would just your laundry here. How amazing is this that you get to experience firsthand the lifestyle of the people hundreds of years ago. Beautiful. And I can see the mosaic on the floor, the emblem of Monda. Okay.
It's looking a lot prettier now the sun is out. And now also the sun is out, it's getting a bit warmer. We have to take our jackets off. It's the 12th of January, and I think it's something around 15 degrees today, 16 degrees. It's very quiet. You don't see many people walking around, just the locals. I like doing this. I like just to get lost. We don't have an itinerary. I think that's the best way to actually, you know, discover hidden places. That reminds me when I first moved to London many years ago, there were no smartphones. You had to rely on paper maps. And what I used to do, I used to just get lost every day, and that's how you learn, that's how you get to know your way around. And one of the things I like as well, living in a town like this, you don't hear much traffic, there's not many ambulances. Some people might not like living in a small town because, let's be honest, you get to know everybody. So everybody knows your business.
Now we are at the main street of Monda. This is the town hall or the Ayuntamiento, and further up you will see the Iglesia Parroquia de Santiago. I can see it right now here. So this is the heart and soul of Monda. Everybody gathers here. People come in the morning to do their daily chores for post office or going to town hall, banks. Everything comes together here. Look at that, Cruz del Carnero. Now we have entered the Plaza Constitucion, the main square of the town, and it has the Parroquia de Santiago, which was built all those hundreds of years ago in 1505 after Reconquista. And like many other Spanish whitewash villages, the churches were built on the site of old mosque. It's a lovely little plaza, very cute plaza, and I love that apartment over there, sunlit balcony. One thing I've noticed is that the age group living here, or actually today on a Monday morning, is mainly retirees. And that's probably like many other small towns or villages, that's the case because young people, they leave to the coast or the big cities to get the opportunities. That's another little square. Oh, there's a burger bar here. But look at that. The way they decorated this house is absolutely beautiful. Loving the flower. Well, actually, this is a museum. Yeah. So one of the houses, the owner, Maria, she has decorated her house just like the way it used to be decorated back in the days. So she's captured the traditional life from hundreds of years ago. It seems like it's closed, but windows are open. Let's have a look on the side. Such a pretty house. And I'm loving these beautiful curved streets, alleyways. Beautiful. Oh yeah. Right, so this door is open. I think they just left it here so that you can have a look without disturbing them. So you can see all the tools from back in the days. They're hung as it was literally hundreds of years ago. Wow. And all the big pots and pans, grains. It's beautiful.
One of the things I love about the small villages and small towns in Andalusia is how clean they are. And this is just another example. You don't see any litter on the streets. The walls are freshly painted. And that's due to the fact that the weather here is very mild. Okay, that's the castle over there. It's uphill, so I'm guessing the most obvious way to go towards there is towards the castle. But this is one of the things about the small villages of Andalusia. They are built like a labyrinth. And that takes you back to the Moorish time where they used to sign the streets in a confusing manner. So they would be able to then confuse you when you came to attack the town and then corner you in a dead end and then attack from above. So that's why you see all these villages that are very narrow to protect you from the heat, but also it's like a maze. Castillo de Monda. Let's go this way. Okay. I love how it's life as usual in Spain. That's very typical that you bring your chair outside and you talk to your neighbors, because your neighbors in such a small village, they're like your family. Beautiful. Okay, more hills up. So many plants. Wow, look at that. Oh wow. Look how green it is. And many people when they come to Spain, they have the perception that Spain is very dry, but this area of Spain, Costa del Sol, is actually very green, and that's why we love living around this area. There's a school there, I can hear the kids just playing around, and going with a green theme, Sendero de Monda. We are surrounded by nature, so lots of trekking trails here to do. Sierra de las Nieves is actually very famous because it's one of Spain's newest national parks, and it reached the highest level of protection in 2021. And also, since 1995, it's part of UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. And that's why you don't really see much population around here. So big houses or developments are well known in Costa del Sol because all these areas protected. And I'm right to do that because if they just keep building and building, what happened to nature? It is stunning. I love the contrast with the blue sky, green, and the white. It's beautiful. We have arrived to Castillo de Monda. Let's have a look. Look at this. They have a rooftop garden as well. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a lot better than I thought it would be. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the fountain. This is very nice. It is very peaceful. I love this. Oh, wow. Look at this. Okay, I think I found a spot in here. Look at this. Oh, wow. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, you can actually see the snow over there. Wow.
Stunning place. Honestly, we have found one of the hidden gems in Costa del Sol, especially Marbella area. Being so close, I won't mind coming back here often to have some meal. Very nice, in a very nice place. Look at this. All of this. Imagine being here at night with little lights around there. Oh, there's another terrace there, and the water flowing on the sides. It is like heaven. It's like a piece of heaven here. Oh. And there's another tower there. I think this is one of the most beautiful restaurants in Costa del Sol area. Let's check this part. Another table here. Wow. I think we might be sitting here. What do you think? Over there, over there you have more plants and it's very boutique, very nice. Here you have the beautiful view of the mountains in front of you. I'm spoiled for choices here. But one day I'm definitely coming back for dinner here.
So the castle is a proper hotel, it's a 4-star hotel, and it comes with a restaurant and a bar. Right now we are in the bar area because the terrace is open in the winter months. In the winter months, the restaurant, oh, they're just bringing some nachos. Oh, go. Gracias. Oh, que pinta. Gracias. Right, so in the winter months, they close the terrace in the restaurant. But in the bar area where we are right now, the terrace is open throughout the year. And today's a warm day, so we thought, let's stay here. And personally, I love the views from here. The menu that you get here in the bar area might not be as extensive as the one you will see at the proper restaurant, but nevertheless, I mean, it's actually quite good. So the one we liked the most, the look of, was the burger and some nachos, whilst admiring these beautiful views. I cannot wait to try this. Okay. Let's see, brioche bread, which is my favorite.
More fattening.
More fattening, but we're gonna do a lot of, up and down. It's good, and it's not bad price either for such an amazing view, delicious food. In a hotel, in a 4-star hotel, it's not that bad either.
Okay, I'm slipping into a food coma now. The burger, the meat was perfectly done. I think it is probably the best burger I've tried in Costa del Sol so far. There's a new burger joint open in Estepona. Apparently everybody's talking about it. We will show you in the next Life in Costa del Sol vlog. But here, I would highly recommend it. I've thoroughly enjoyed the food, and I'm sure 20 minutes, half an hour drive from Marbella, we will be coming back, especially at night, to see the ambience. The history of the castle is quite an interesting one. It was built by the Moors around 9th or 10th century, and being at such a high vantage point, they used this place to look at the forces coming in to attack them. And then later on, in the late 14th century, during Reconquista, it was taken over by the Christian forces. And early 19th century, during Napoleon Wars, the castle was completely destroyed and left in ruins for years and years. And like we see many castles around Andalusia and around Spain, they are in ruins. Last week we were in Galfin, and that castle was completely destroyed as well. But then a company in the 1990s took over and turned this into a beautiful boutique hotel, and absolutely loving this architecture, Moroccan style architecture here. Such a stunning balcony. Sit down here for a cafe. If you're in work here, come here in the morning, sit down and enjoy the beautiful atmosphere.
It is a beautiful hotel and a beautiful castle, but in my opinion, would I prefer the original castle with the ruins to show the wounds of battle and history? I think I prefer that. Like Aslan mentioned before, last week we were in Galfin, and we have visited so many castles throughout in Andalusia and in Spain. And for me, it's like a history lesson of what happened here. Don't get me wrong, I love what they've done here. I love the fact that you can eat and stay in a beautiful castle, in a beautiful town with amazing views. But at the same time, I actually like to see the history, what happened, and seeing it the way they left it. For me, that's something very special too. There are a couple of monuments that we really want to see. Apparently there is a Roman pathway that they left it like it was. We really want to have a look at that. Some trekking trails, but also we want to hopefully capture some beautiful sunsets in this area. Look at that view. That monument, I don't know if you can capture in camera, but that little monument there, white monument, that's where we're heading. But, this is our beautiful view. You can see Sierra Nevada over there with the snowy top. Beautiful.
Of course, being so close to one of the biggest shopping centers in Costa del Sol, Cañada shopping center, Monda has a lot of working class population, and you can tell from the housing stock here as well that there are some really good ones, but there are also really some, it's a bit like abandoned projects and some streets which are not as pretty, but only a little bit. But most of it, the majority of the town is very beautiful. And sorry, I'm panting because I'm going up the hill, and that's the monument we are going to. But yeah, talking about the land around here, this is very popular for farmhouses, and you can even get a farmhouse for around 250 to 300,000 euros with quite a bit of land and decent enough housing as well. Okay, and we are here.
El Calvario represents El Calvary, which is the hill where Jesus Christ was crucified. And walking up to El Calvario, it mirrors the idea of a spiritual ascent, not just a physical one. And traditionally, in Andalusian towns like Monda, going to El Calvario or places like Calvario were originally built as a place for reflection, devotion, and prayer. It's beautiful, especially around Holy Week, Semana Santa. It has a strong connection to the Pasos, to reflection, devotion, prayer. Many people come here to pray or to reflect. It's a very spiritual land. Hola. Oh. Hola, are you the keeper? Are you the guard of this place? It's beautiful. And somewhere around there's actually a Roman path, Calzada Romana. I really wanted to have a look because there's a lot of history connected to this town.
Now we have come to the point where we can access the Roman road. And long before the whitewashed village and before the church bells and everything, this area was empty. The only thing that was connecting this area to the rest of the world was this Roman road. It is not the main imperial highway that stretched from Rome to all the way to the Atlantic Sea, but it is a secondary road. It was built to access great farmlands of this area. This area is very fertile, especially for the olive oil and olive trees. That was transported back to the port of Malaga, the city of Malaga back then. And there it is, the Roman road. What's left of it. You can imagine that it's been caving in over time. These stones that we see today, they were put in by hands, by lots of workers over centuries ago. Olive trees, and I can see, I can see lots of olives on them as well. So this is what proves that this area is filled with olive trees, and this is Granada, which is pomegranate. Imagine all the carts taking fruits and olives in the vases, and down there is the river. How would they cross that? And I think this is where the Roman road ends, or what's left of it. The rest of it has been paved to merge into the road network of Spain. And now we have come to the last plaza of the town, and it's called Plaza de la Ermita, and it also has the fourth fountain right in front of us. You also have some bars and cafes around this town, this square, and I think it's also a very lovely square to sit down and enjoy an afternoon in Spain. Right opposite, I can see an estate agent, so it's time to check out the prices in the local area. This one is 75,000 euros, Casa del Pueblo in the town centre, very little house, or an apartment, 105,000. These are all within the town. My interest is this project, like it's got a shell for 200,000, 3,000 square meter land and 250 square meter of construction area. It's like a farmhouse and it's got the shell. All you need to do is complete it. That would be a great project. It will give you good returns as well. For example, I can see this house, a double-story house, for 750,000 euros, but that's completely done. You don't need to do anything. 242,000 for 2-bedroom, 65 square meter house, but 3,000 square meter land. So the house prices are cheaper, definitely cheaper compared to the surrounding areas. But to be honest, I've been through it. We've been through this town all throughout the day, and we quite like it here. But the only thing is that we just don't get that kind of feeling of attachment like we have in whitewashed towns like Vejer and other whitewashed towns like Cornwall as well. You go to those places and you connect straight away. Here, it's beautiful, it's got potential, but we're not connecting it for some reason.
I'm so glad we got to see Monda, because so many times we have driven by and every time we said, oh, we need to visit. The highlight of our trip was actually the castle. This is a place we want to come back with our friends and family, enjoy the fantastic views this town has to offer. If you are in Marbella or if you are in Estepona and you fancy a very nice meal in a very nice restaurant and also amazing views in a very ancient building like it's a castle, I highly recommend you coming to Monda. I hope you enjoy Monda as much as we did, and we'll see you next week from another amazing location in Spain. Hasta luego!